quarterback did an option instead of the duck goose linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. Bust down. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossibly. Red zone, this my highlight, my property. Do a quarterback sneakers on 4th and 3. Get the ends on the offensive block for me. I stiff him down, get off of me. I'm trucking him over, he under me.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good win, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. A few moments ago, the Steeler offensive starters, including all-pro wideout Antonio Brown, were introduced. And they've got this crowd in a frenzy as they get set to square off with the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Now it's Conner. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The numbers there for Conner in last week's game. 22 carries, 109 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've...
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
The first carry for the 2nd-year man, Joe Mixon. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. The numbers for Mixon last week, 19 carries, 91 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
And that is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Let's go. Green, 39. Green.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
The drive will start with Connor. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Sean Williams that time in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, that's Connor. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the left hash, this from 37. And his kick here is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. It's a 3-point game here early. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Back to throw here. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And give them a gain of 37.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll drop to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jonathan Bostic in there to drop it for a loss of nearly 20 yards.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the scrambler or the dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On play action, they'll throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
The touch and time here are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And that will tie us at 3-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Blue 30.
Here's Connor. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Roethlisberger will throw. He gets it to Brown. Complete. First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards a year ago, and a first down. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call it Boney Tony. But Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
On 3rd down, that's Connor. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 34. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
I know it looks easy to a lot of people when you're kicking the ball. I mean, it looks pretty simple, right? Snap, put it down, kick it. But playing in the snow, that can throw off your timing just a bit, and that can wreak havoc, as we just saw there.
Well, it throws off the timing, and I just think it's an extra advantage for the team that's coming in to block it, because they've got a hold on the offensive side, and, of course, the kicker and holder and snapper, they've got a lot to deal with.
What can't be underestimated is the person catching the ball, the holder, and putting it down. You're talking about cold hands, snowy weather, ball can get slippery on you. It's a lot of extra pressure on that person.
And they're able to get it down, but a nice job to get in and block it. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Here the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. On first down, he'll drop to throw. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more on that one, and another first down. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. And he finds Julius Thomas. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here.
All right, here we go. Green.
They'll look to throw. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And Bullock will put this one through, and they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front. 9
seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll kick things off in the AFC North. 2 teams with intertwined histories, to say the least. Baltimore playing host to Cleveland. And it's the Browns who are out on top. Nick Chubb, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. From there, we head on over to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Jamal Williams, 2 touchdown runs on the afternoon. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Devontae Parker, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And a big play there on second down, but we do have a flag on the field. This is in the area where it might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for
second
naught
down
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw to Mixon on the check down. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll set up a throw, and this is going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Losing 9 yards there. And it also brings up 4th. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
They'll set up to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
With it is Brown. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. They start with a give to Counter. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They stay on the ground. Here's Conner again. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They run with Conner. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Conner. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
Well, Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Barthema Bagley, said, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now, the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll drop to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. It's Conner as they stay on the ground. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Looking deep downfield. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So the failure to convert, no doubt, really hurts. But this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help in big ways. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Airing one out for Boyd. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll look to throw. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 more yards there and another first down. Very much in range for a tying field goal as they hurry to the line. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He's back to throw. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Extra point forthcoming. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over the...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The tight end Julius Thomas, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And an alley to run. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost felt schoolyard or playground, didn't it? Yeah, you remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.
So for the Steelers, a final win means they will finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, this might wind up being a tough pill to swallow as they're going to finish the season at 9-7. And it's going to be finger-crossing time as we await the final shakedown of this year's playoff picture. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.